Alrighty guys, let's take a look at in this video. How are the memory stocks doing opening up this week? We are almost red across the board for the memory and the chip stocks, but most importantly, what we'll talk about in this video is, are we still stabilizing enough that we can still push to the upside? As you know, in the last videos, I have been telling you that what is important at this point here is a stabilization, not necessarily an upside, but a stabilization and not the downside is what we are watching. So let's take a look at how the market is performing today. Is our thesis still valid? Has anything hit our stop loss zones or risk management zones? And what should we be doing? How we should be approaching the market from here on itself. Let's jump right into it. Once also let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. One thing I want to tell you before we go further is today is the last day if you want to get my DRAM portfolio access for free. All right, how you do that is just by joining. This is an inclusive free perk for now with the Trading Tools Plus Stocks Coverage membership. But come after today, it will not be available for free, and also it will be much more expensive than the Trading Tools Plus Stocks Coverage. So it's not that if you come after today, you're just not paying for DRAM portfolio access, but also much more than what the Trading Tools Plus Stocks Coverage is. So you get right now it for free with the Trading Tools Plus Stocks Coverage itself. And eventually this will just not be DRAM. We are expanding. I did a vote with my members and all of them voted to expand beyond DRAM, and soon this service be money management portfolio. A lot of stuff will be happening here, not just DRAM. Wherever there are opportunities, we're gonna go after that. If you wanna follow along every step of the way what I'm doing, all right, with this particular portfolio, it will be based off of the capital that members are comfortable with. All right, today's the last day. If you want to be part of all of this for free with just the Trading Tools Plus Stocks Coverage membership, you will find the details in the description of this video. After today, this whole service will be priced differently and much higher. The prices are based off of how much energy and time goes into providing a particular service and or managing that service. All right, so today is the last day telling you for free if you want it with the inclusive perks through other memberships. Okay, anyways, let's jump back here to our video. Details for that, all that stuff is in the description of this video. Just follow along to my Patreon links and all the details are there. All right, let's get to Micron here. So Micron, as I have provided you this yellow zone, and even under that we are looking at like 770 area. Until there, I'm not too worried. This is more like these zones are risk management zones, and we are technically still bullish. Now let's get to the hourly interval, and this is something you would have noticed in my videos. I always say, guys, moving averages and the trend lines are only for references. Don't make decisions based off of this, because institutions don't make decisions based off of this. They place the orders at the levels which my tools marks all automatically for you, which you will get access if you join my membership. And we bounced off of those levels still. Trend lines are just for the reference. You can see we breached it today, but are regaining it. You cannot make a decision based off of the trend lines. Therefore, references. I keep repeating this to you all the time. And you can see in the live examples why so. And if you are losing using the trend line, you know the reasons why. Because institutions, big orders don't come at the trend lines. Now, so here we are still holding that area. So Micron is still technically just fine. Okay, Micron is still technically just fine. Now, does it put us in enough strength that we are seeing that, okay, it's gonna just push through straight to the up? We are not there yet also. It's still a part of a stabilization. Now, either side breakout between these two levels, like 830 area zone and above like is 900 area, any side breakout is what we are waiting for. That's what will get us out of the stabilization. Definitely upside break will put us more on the upside direction, and the downside break will put us more to the downside direction. Unfortunately, that is below 830 area. So, but I still believe there is still room that it can stabilize at these zones like 780 or something, but the point is that below 830 you gotta start managing your risk based off of whatever position you are trading. Above that we are still fine. It is still technically stabilization here on Micron. All right, let's take a look at Sandisk. Sandisk is green today, but it is still rejecting at that upper end of the resistance, that is $1,300 sales zone. All right, it is still rejecting there. However, my thesis still remains the same, that there is not much downside left on Sandisk. Eventually it will be bought up, in my opinion. It's going to go through a stabilization phase, maybe sideways phase, but the short plays are over at this point. It's not in your best interest to play a short. You are more positioning yourself still to the upside or not taking any trade right now, but you cannot short it here. Your probabilities right now are less for the short. Can't it go down? It can go down, but is there a higher probability right now for that? No. If you are trying to short it still from last 2 weeks, you are losing money on the short, even on just the borrowing cost. Or if you are doing options, you are losing it on the value of it. So yeah, you get my point why it's not a short. So anyhow, we still gotta break out properly above 1300 at this point, as if we do it, then only we will be out of this potential stabilization and we will be looking at least better for the upside. Okay, let's start there. So, but positioning is still in the stabilization phase, and I still believe there is not much downside left on Sandisk. SK Hynix. Now, as we talk first about SK Hynix, let's visit the Korean market, that is Kospi. What did Kospi do? Kospi is also just in the stabilization phase. I don't see much downside on Kospi. Yes, it can do the retests to the recent downside, but I don't think we're gonna see new lows. I don't think that's happening. It's still in the stabilization phase, and most likely it's gonna push back to the upside through this after the stabilization. SK Hynix on the Kospi side, yesterday, pretty much coming down, which I mentioned to you guys that there's a retest possibility here, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna make a new low at this point. My thesis still will remain to the upside as long as we don't lose like the zones of 1,240,000. All right, so right now for me it's just a potential retest. Samsung is also pretty much in the same boat like Kospi and SK Hynix there, mostly just doing a retest area. And Samsung also, I don't think we will see the downside. So I'm still by my thesis standing that it's a stabilization phases that we are going through. All right, say retest phases, stabilization phases that we are going through, so not too worried. And that's how you would look at Nasdaq SK Hynix also. You are mostly waiting for a little bit of a retest complete and then strength gain back up eventually. Okay, Seagate, guys, choppy sideways, and that still remains the case on this thing. And but as I said to you guys last time also, I just don't believe, even if downside happens, it's eventually gonna get bought up. It's gonna be mostly choppy and like to the upside eventually. And this is where your options are really gonna kill you there if you are buying or selling put, like respectively, right? Calls and puts, because you're not gonna get an upside, you're not gonna get a downside, and you're just losing value there. So, and this is where like shares comes in really handy, right? At trading with those. And anyhow, I don't think Seagate would have much downside here. I'm still standing by the same thesis actually. So you can check out my last video, pretty much the same thing you will find. Even if we do lose some zones like 693, I still think we eventually gonna get bought up on this thing. So right now, not much to the downside. Nvidia is doing a pullback. It's just a pullback, guys. So as I said, until 213 pullback will be fine. But what I also told you in the extensions, keep taking partial profits. If multi-day weakness start, you gotta just size down more and then wait for the pullback to complete. So yeah, a little bit of in the pullback below 222. We will remain a little bit in the pullback at this point. So you can expect a little bit like it may a little bit chop around here, slow down, and then eventually we'll see. As long as it holds above 213, technically we are overall still bullish. But these are the times when you would want to size down a little bit of your position, because we are in the extensions and have tried to lose some levels. But don't fully liquidate, because we are still overall bullish until the zone of 214, and so accordingly manage the position, but still to the upside. AMD, guys, nothing really changes. We are still in the negative side on AMD. Okay, we are still in the negative side on AMD, below $500. Poor thing is still weak, so below 500 there is no momentum to the upside. ARM here is rejecting at that zone up there. However, its structure is bullish since here. Now with that, I also mentioned until 268 at this point. Once we did the retest up there, it is important that we continue to hold 268. If we start to lose it, guys, this is over. Potential multi-day strength and uptrend that we formed here is over below 268. Let's get to the hourly interval. It is still holding there right at that level, guys. My tools marks all these levels automatically for you. I get my trading tools, and if you get my trading tools, you also get my not just DRAM portfolio for free, but also my whole portfolio management going forward for free. But only if you join by today, then only you get these 2 extra perks for free. All right, so that's ARM. Let's get to Intel. So Intel said they're gonna do offering. Intel filed a $15 billion common stock offering, all that stuff, you know. Welcome to the stock market. All right, the surprisingly price action is still holding at the zone, and thus it still remains bullish above $100, right? And 96.95, I have previously told you that you can use this zone as your now trailing area. It is still holding above it, so it still has a potential for the upside. The thing is that above 95, you will still look to the upside on this thing, regardless of what the news is or whatever, because price action above that is still technically to the upside. If we lose 95, no, right? That's how simple it is. Broadcom still in the bullish structure, guys. Now it may do a pullback if it wants to until 404. Let's see if we're seeing enough sign of a pullback happening. Not quite yet. It is still standing strong. Okay, it's a little bit of just a day of a cool off. So levels to watch if we have to trigger a pullback: 424, this level. 424, if you start to lose it, it may trigger some pullback. Then you're watching 419. If you lose 419, you gotta size down more. My tools marks all these levels automatically for you. These are intraday levels for sizing in and out the position. Significant levels, the solid lines, are for making big decisions. That's where the price will react the most. That's where it's your another chance to manage your position. But this indicates, aha, run is coming to that next zone at least. So all that good stuff, guys. Get my tools. Your life will be easy. You will make money left and right in the market. All right. Marvel. So Marvel is still technically bullish, guys, and but we gotta stay above $200. This is the bottom I called out, and we are still technically in the bullish strength. We gotta stay above $200 though. Okay, that's the point. Cerebras still good, getting ready to rocket to the upside, guys. There. All right, so that's Cerebras, guys. That's all I had for you in this video, and you can also check out my members only videos that you will get access if you happen to join my Trading Tools Plus Stocks coverage, and get access to many more stocks plan. SPY, NASDAQ, Tesla, SpaceX, Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft, I can't stop talking about Microsoft. We made so much money. You're missing out. We are making money on a lot of other stocks as well, guys. In my videos, I talk about all that good stuff. All right, with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.